Okay, so we're talking 6 mana, right? Because this also adds mana. Okay, and this... Yeah. Let's see if our opponent quits. Yeah, I knew it. I knew our opponent would quit after this one. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video on the channel. Today's video is gonna be another all-out brawl episode. It says here 30, but it's 29 because I skipped a color. I cannot seem to find a commander that's good enough for that color anywhere, so, or a deck I mean. So that's going to be probably the next video, we'll see, or the last one, we'll see. So today we have TymnaKrawm, another cedh staple partnership. If you don't know, Kraum, Ludevic's Opus, or Barnabas Tarmer, or whatever it's called, is a legendary creature. Obviously, it has flying haste, it's a 4/4, and whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you draw a card. And Tymna the Weaver, or cedh, it has lifelink, and it says at the beginning of each of your post-combat main phases, you may pay X life, where X is the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage this turn. If you do, draw X cards. Now, in a regular commander table, this card is much stronger because you're gonna be potentially drawing 3 cards for 3 life. So you want to probably build it in a way where you can gain a lot of life back as well. Here, the X is only going to be 1 because Brawl is a 1v1 game mode, let's put it that way. So there's not a lot you can do, so it is what it is. Still, fantastic card, and these two in tandem work pretty well. Now, I found a similar list to this online. Don't remember where or from who. I apologize for that. I'll try and find it, but I cannot guarantee that I will. But I made a bunch of changes, like that list, the original list had like 11 cards that I didn't have, or 18 or whatever. I think it was like 11 rares and 8 mythics or something like that. And as you can see, I'm poor. I have 3 rares and 1 mythic, so can't really do much about that. So I tried to substitute those with cards that were similar to the ones that the original creator had, but I also tried to put in a couple combos here and there, you know. For example, we have the most famous combo with Thassa's Oracle here, which is Thassa's Oracle, Altar of Dementia, or any other sack outlet basically, but Altar of Dementia works pretty well, and Stitcher Supplier with Underworld Breach. I know it's 4 cards, but it's not that difficult to get it. Maybe if I got a couple more tutors here, which is something that you definitely should have. I just now noticed I don't really have a lot of tutors, because this is like the 3rd or 4th rendition of this deck that I'm trying. I tried to build one, I tried to simply just net deck some, and this was the one that worked best. But basically the combo, if you have Altar of Dementia on the battlefield, you play Stitcher Supplier that mills 3 cards when it enters or dies. Then you sack it to Altar of Dementia, you know. Then you play Underworld Breach, and until end of turn, you're just gonna keep sacking and replaying your Stitcher Supplier, milling yourself basically until you have Thassa's Oracle that you can play. And when you have no cards in your graveyard, you basically just play Thassa's Oracle and you win. That's the combo. I also have Phyrexian Dragon Engine and Mishra claimed by Gix, so that we can do the melding and have Mishra lost to Phyrexia, but that's not the main point of the deck. The main point of the deck is basically ridiculous control, card draw, and it's basically annoy your opponents until they quit. And that's gonna happen with pretty much all of them. You're gonna get a lot of card draws. You have ways of finishing the game, obviously. You can Hornlock Whale your way out of a game. You can One-Shitong your way out of a game. You can Yore-Tiller your way out of a game. You can Kuja Genome Sorcerer your way out of a game. There are a lot of ways, but it's pretty much, as you can see, a lot of control, a lot of card advantage, counters, removal. You have some ways of protecting your commanders, or Thassa's Oracle, for example, or these 2 pieces that if you want to try and meld them, like Ephemerate and Essence Flux. But apart from that, yeah, you just create some tokens with Monastery Mentor, with Prowess, and you control the board and you win. That's pretty much it. You're gonna see that throughout the videos. I think I have like 6 or 7 recorded. This little combo right here, I only put it onto the video after like game 5. because I completely forgot, but this was one of the reasons the Thassa's Oracle Underworld Breach combo was one of the reasons I wanted to try TymnaKrawm, but still, the deck works perfectly well. You're gonna win most games. I think that I have 7 videos, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if all of them are going to get onto the final video that you guys are watching, but I have 7 out of 10 maybe. We lost, I think, 2, so it was pretty easy to record this one, so pretty happy about that. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what kind of cards you guys would add, what cards you guys would remove, if this deck works for you, if you're gonna try it out. It's fantastic. And before we go into the game, just wanted to thank you all for the support that you are giving. We're on 334 subs, which is fantastic. I will keep posting if you guys keep responding. Well, I'll keep posting either way, but it's better when you guys keep responding positively to the videos, so really appreciate that. And while I'm here, if you guys like the video, subscribe, because there's a lot more Brawl and Standard and who knows what else coming. So I'm not gonna keep yapping, let's get in some games. So first game, this partner decks, commanders, whatever you want to call it, really shook up the Brawl scene for me. It's very, very interesting. So let's see, I'll keep this. This seems decent enough. I will most likely go get something with Surveil. We have a counter for Alana in the lane if our opponent doesn't have a way to protect that, make it uncounterable. So it's indifferent, I think. We can also go and get something that comes in untapped so we can consider first turn. That's also a possibility. Yeah, I think that's it. So we already 3 life behind. This deck does that, man. It really eats at your life quick, but you kind of have to do stuff like that, you know. Okay, I'll take another land. That's perfect. And Teferi, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. We could Archmage's Newt if we wanted to, but I don't think I want to. I think I'm gonna rock a Theater. I'll take another land, why not? We'll need it. I'm sure we'll need it. Okay, Shadow Spear, Trample, Lifelink, +1/+1. I don't think our opponent will do anything this turn. At least not with Alana in the lane, so I will go with Undercity Sewers, I think. Let us surveil again. This might be helpful. And I'll go with the Archmage's Newt. I don't know, maybe we'll take a removal spell out of our opponent or something. We'll take the small wins if we need to. Well, right now there's not a lot we can do, so I'm just gonna attack and pass turn. Because in theory our opponent will play the Alana in the lane. Look at him counting. And we got the win, I guess. What the hell? This is the issue with Brawl, man. If this was ranked, people would not quit as easily. But whatever, let's get into another one. Okay, so let's see if Boba God gives us a better game than our last opponent. The commander is very dangerous. I'll go get something with white and blue most likely. And we will have pretty much all the colors. We'll need another blue so we can counter something with 3 steps ahead. But apart from that, it's gonna be fine. White and blue, let's go get Meticulous Archive so we can surveil. I'll take this, you know. It's not fantastic, but I will take that because that might be helpful. I think this is gonna be a aggressive deck, probably with what's it called? Direct damage, you know, going straight to the face, but we'll see. So a Delirium card is not necessarily what I was expecting, not gonna lie. I will go with the Raucous Theater. Definitely the card we were looking for there. Kraum Coast will help us a lot with No More Lies, or especially 3 steps ahead. So we'll just pass turn. There's no need to do anything else. Next turn we can also go with Kuja and start compounding the things we do, you know. So our opponent will attack. No worries there. We will just pass turn. And we'll play a Xander's Lounge. Pass turn again. This is what we're gonna do for the first couple of turns, at least until our opponent tries to play Flage. I have no idea what's it called. Gold Span Dragon. Yep. Gold Span Dragon is something we do not want to see on our opponent's board. 1,000,000%. Smothering Tide is too expensive, so I'll just chill again. One more turn at least. I can unlock Whale, the Dragon's Rage Channeler if needed. Not like super worried about that one. Roaming Throne, not great, but I'll let it go. Is that a giant? It is. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Why not? I doubt he protects it or really worries about that. And I'll just pass turn. Okay, we got another land which is pretty decent. Maybe white. If I do this, I can untap 2. Yeah, I can do that. Or no, that's just 2. So yeah, I can do that. We will not hopefully lose. Ephemerate is decent. So we're gonna go with the 2 that have blue. And now let's see. Hopefully we'll not lose the fairy, but I'm prepared to do that if needed. There's not a lot we can do. Our opponent kills it, so. Okay, it's still on 1, so we can at least get one more use out of it. I will counter Flage. So that way we can still, probably the idea was, Day of Judgment is actually pretty good, but let's see what we draw. I wouldn't mind another land, to be completely honest. There we go. So we'll immediately crack it, there's no point not to. And let's go get something that allows us to, yeah, another city sewers, why not? I will also take that one for sure. So if I go with this, only 2. Day of Judgment would be one of those cards, you know. Yeah, I will Day of Judgment. Roaming Throne is very dangerous. We'll probably lose. I'll go with blue and blue, just to, you know, scare our opponent. Roaming Throne is one of those cards that can really make a mess out of your board, you know. So sacrifice a creature. Okay. Oh damn. So the fairy goes bye-bye, which sucks. That definitely sucks. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. We can go with Kuja and start, like I said, compounding, or we can start trying to lock our opponent out. I think I'm gonna go with this one because we can protect it. either if it's with the Leviathan or Ephemerate, you know. And then next turn we can go with Cecil. Our opponent tries to play... what's that? Nah, I cannot let that one slide, my guy. That is... and we got the win. So this one was much better. We just managed to control the board a lot better, so our opponent really wasn't a fan of what's going on, you know. A Day of Judgment, 3 steps ahead, no more lies, Teferi. Kuja would be just compounding, creating wizards, pinging our opponent, you know. We had a big creature ready to come in. Our commanders didn't really need to appear, but our opponent said it was enough. We dealt with some pretty good cards, Roaming Throne, Luminarch Aspirant, Flash as well, or Flage or whatever, but especially Gold Pendragon. If this hit the battlefield, we would be at a tremendous disadvantage. Always creating treasures, adding 2 mana for each one of those, so it would be very difficult, but we managed to get the win. That's fantastic. Not a big showing of our commanders, but still pretty decent. Let's get into another one. Okay, so I have my coffee here for this third game. Actually, it's the fourth. We actually lost one before this one, so I like this, not gonna lie. I think we can do some interesting stuff with this, so I will keep. I'll play the Undercity Sewer so that I can have mana for the Dark Ritual, and then the Mox Ember, and then turn to cedh cast, and we'll have enough for a Tymna the Weaver on turn 2, which is pretty decent. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll take it. It's not a bad one. Plus it has a flash, so it's interesting. Now, problem with what our opponent's playing, answers. Enchantments pretty much have a response for everything you do. Okay, we can also try and hold up the counter spell, but I think I'm gonna go with my original plan, Dark Ritual and Tymna the Weaver. Yeah, sure. Let's pay 0 life and draw 0 cards, no worries. I did this mostly because, sure, he's gonna have cedh or whatever it's called. Maybe he won't. Cavern of Souls, I'll take it. It's another land. I'll attack. Maybe our opponent doesn't block. Okay, we'll take the next land. And we'll just pass turn. Now we can actually 3 steps ahead, or Disdainful Stroke, or counter spell. So we have a bunch of options here to deal with whatever our opponent plays. So feeling pretty safe right now, except if our opponent, you know, plays a Cavern of Souls. Okay, it did not, so we can cedh this, and I will counter target spell. Okay, so no cedh for at least one more turn, which is great for us. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, that is fine-ish. I'm going to choose... I think I'm going to choose human either way, because Tymna seems a little bit more important. I can do this and then... yeah, I'll do that. So Teferi, and I will go with choose one target artifact, one target creature. I'm gonna tap that one, and one target land, Undercity Sewer, so that we can have some stuff open, and we're going to draw another card, which is pretty decent. Pretty decent so far. I think that if our opponent tries to cedh this and we 3 steps ahead or whatever, Disdainful Stroke, no, it won't work with cedh this, but it might work with some other things our opponent plays. Unfortunately, we cannot play the Sphinx. That would be amazing, but Let's see. Okay, so we're talking 6 mana, right? Because this also adds mana. Okay, and this... Yeah. Let's see if our opponent quits. Yeah, I knew it. I knew our opponent would quit after this one. You know, I talk a lot of shit about people that quit with no reason. This time I understand. It's like the, what, 6th turn or whatever, 5th, 6th turn. And our opponent tried to play his commander twice. He got countered twice. Pretty much spent his whole turn trying to play the commander again. But the control aspect of this deck is very, very strong. And we're being able to make some pretty decent choices so far. So let's keep it going. Okay. Deaf Guy 007 Kaya Intangible Slayer. That is a good one. That is a good commander, but it costs a lot. So I'm going to assume it's a very control-y deck. We have blue so we can opt, but then we need more mana. Should I keep this? I like the end. Once Monastery Mentor hits the battlefield, we have several things we can do. So I think I'll keep Watery Grave. We're gonna scry and draw on our first turn. Our opponent is playing with a lot of removal, but not really control in the sense of counters and stuff like that. White has a couple of cards that can be considered counters, even though I really don't, like Mana Tithe and Reprieve. I think that's the name. But, you know, let's see. Let us see what happens. Day of Judgment might be a good one. I'll pay 2 life, fast turn. We're gonna try and draw, hopefully hit the 3rd land. The colors are fine the way that they are, so I'm not like super worried about that. I'll take the 3rd land. And we gotta consider, so I'm going to put this one tapped. There's no reason to do anything else, and we're gonna basically opt again. I think we have Wash Away in this deck, don't we? We do. So a Wash Away would be nice. That way we could, you know, just keep 1 blue mana for the commander. Sorry if you heard slurping. I tried to keep that to a minimum, but okay. Do not tell me Deaf Guy is AFK already. Please. Please, Deaf Guy, come on. Come on. Help a brother out here. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so his ears, Snow Covered Plain, Sacrifice, Search a Library. Okay, that's fine. It's a decent card. Can't really say anything about that. Sure, I'll accept that for sure. Another control-y thing. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I'll risk this. It will most likely die, because I don't think our opponent will let Monastery Mentor create tokens all willy-nilly like that. But if it doesn't, we're in a pretty decent position. We have 2 blue. We can protect it with the Essence Flux next turn, but I don't see that happening, to be honest. Unless our opponent really wants to be like, okay, I have board wipes and I really want Gaia on the battlefield. One on the battlefield, 1 into your hand and shuffled. Okay, so he's gonna have 5 mana at the end of this turn, because he's gonna put 1 tap and he can play the other one untap. So more than enough mana to kill the Monastery Mentor if he desires to. I could have tried and Prismari Command as well before he got to do that. So this will have that gate thingy, right? I can see that being the case. So I'm just going to attack. No point in doing anything else. Pass turn. If he tries to kill, I'll let that go. He needs to pay 2. No, I don't want that one. Well, with power 2 or less, let him do that, and I will Essence Flux. I think that's good. And it comes back, and now we have 2 creatures instead of 1. So we're being mana screwed, which I hate completely. Non-creature, non-land card. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this right now. Destroy target artifact and create a treasure. I think this is good. We're creating another creature. We're gonna have a big attack, plus we have 1 more mana that we have. He now sees everything we have, so that sucks, but let's see what he chooses. That has X-proof, so it doesn't really matter unless I get to counter it before he plays it, so I would go with the long reverse pool, but that's me. So he has 6 mana available right now. 7. Okay, 8. And now we have another land, which is brilliant. We have 5 mana. We can do this and still have the long reverse pool available for us. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll lose a life. That's decent. Let's see if our opponent decides to take his chances with Kaya, or if there's like a board wipe or something coming. If there's a board wipe, I'm really not gonna do a lot. I'll just let it go. Return a creature planeswalker from your graveyard to the battlefield. He has nothing. The issue here is I don't really have anything for Flare of the Nile. Well, actually I do. I can play the Emmet next turn. And if I do that, I'll have something that I can sacrifice for the Flare of the Nile to counter the Kaya. Now, our opponent still has 3 mana. So it basically Orzhov and 2 of any color that he wants and 1 colorless. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 now, so next turn we really only can go with Emmet Selch. Unsundered, I think that's how you pronounce that. I have no idea though. Words is hard. Oh, I just now noticed this. This is terrible, man. Like, terrible programming or whatever. Okay, I was gonna say we really need a counter, but we do not need a counter. We already have a counter. So I'll do this. I will join this card. Yeah, I don't think Smothering Tithe is really gonna be that helpful, so our opponent is on 4 life. Let us go with Thundering Falls, and I will I will take a mountain just because, you know. Okay, so I'm pretty sure our opponent went and got a board wipe or something like that. It's highly unlikely. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. So I'll take that one out. It was pretty obvious that that was our opponent's intention with the Grim Tutor, so very happy I saw the Emmet Selch route. I say this because with my AVV I could have missed it, but I did not. That proves I'm a good Magic player, okay? Don't doubt me. In all seriousness, I think we maneuvered this game pretty well. Like I said in the last one, the control aspect of this deck is very strong. I really enjoy this. We dealt with Blood on the Snow, the first chapter of Elspeth's Nightmare. We took out Idron Archive. Our opponent was too afraid to even try to play Kaya, and the Monastery Mentor just did what he had to, and we had a bunch more stuff that we could have played. But counters and a little bit of old-fashioned beatdown got us the win. Let's get into another one. So far so good, man. Warrior of Light. What is this? Is this Joda or something? Yeah, Joda the Unifier. So I gotta pay attention to that. I like this. There's no way I can say no to this hand, man. Vivi, Teferi, No More Lies, 2 lands, Arcane Signet, like very, very difficult. And we're playing second, which means that we can actually get another land, preferably untapped, before we need to do something else. I'll take that. I'm not a fan, but I'll take that. Because Arcane Signet on turn 2 would be amazing, but we're not going to be able to play that, so we will just keep going. Our opponent, with this kind of deck, our opponents don't really do a lot before like having Joda on the battlefield, so yep, I'll go with this, and let's see now. Now we have No More Lies, we have Long River's Pool open. Our opponent is missing black, is missing white, so we are solid so far. Draw a card at the beginning of the next end step and tap 2 lands. That's what we want. If Vivi dies, Vivi dies. There's nothing I'm not gonna worry that much about it, you know. We're gonna have, now we can actually protect Vivi as well, which is fantastic. I'm not gonna attack. I would rather let this just chill here for a little. I'm gonna go with those 2. We also have Archmage's Charm available, which is very good. Didn't even notice that was gonna happen. Okay, so we got another win. I think in this situation was more the shuffler giving us the win. This is gonna stay in the video just because it's pretty short, but I like the way the deck worked, in the sense that nothing was really missing, so can't really complain about the deck building aspect. So, you know, pretty decent. Let's get into another one. So Apacha, I don't know, Fiend Fangbearer. This is a tough one because it can go crazy fast. Not a fan of this hand. I think it's too slow for this deck. I will keep this one just because of the Brainstorm and the Ornlock Whale. That will keep us afloat, hopefully. Whenever the creature attacks, gains Death Touch until end of turn. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. I will definitely play the Hallowed Fountain, play 2 more, and just Brainstorm. We are kind of fishing for something here. Don't really know what. So this gives what? 2 poison counters, so yeah. It's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be very rough. We're already on 2 poison counters. Let's see. I'll take out Smothering Tide and the Archmage's Charm. I'll go get that one, no worries. I will now play the Command Tower so that we can actually have No More Lies open or Ornlock Whale. So we need to kind of figure out what's the best option here. I will try an Ornlock Whale the Fiend Fangbearer, but green has a lot of like snakeskin veil effect, so not super confident, but we have to try it. Okay, that was beautiful. That was beautiful, man. I'll take it. I will take it. Because right now this does nothing, right? And our opponent needs 4 mana, I guess, to play Finn. So at this point in time, we are kind of solid. Let's put it that way. Not a lot. Not a lot, but kinda. I'll go with this one because we might need the Archmage's Charm. Or should I? I'll go with the Monastery Man. So, because we're not gonna block unless our opponent has Fiend Fangbearer mana, but I can sense a fighting spell coming, which sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, that was expected. So he loses one. Not super worried about that. And we got the win. I think our opponent was a little mana screwed here, but he was still at this point of the game, he was definitely in front. We were probably going to play Smothering Tide this turn, or have the Archmage's Charm open to try and get one of these cards and block the Fiend and try and kill it or something like that. I don't know. I would have to think about what to do, but probably Smothering Tide to make things harder for our opponent, but we didn't need to. Let's get into another one. I am indeed ready. Pancubano, Light Pause, Emperor's Voice, again with the auras and enchantment and stuff like that, so... We are missing the colors, so I have to mulligan, but Pact of Negation and Vivi made me consider. This hand is much better. Slower, but much better as well. So let's see what... I'm not gonna go with the Mystic Remora. I could actually. This is going to have non-creature spells. Yeah, it's indifferent. I will. This is gonna have non-creature spells for sure, so at least one card I'm gonna get out of it. Okay, so not this turn though. God damn it. I will pay. Okay, so another land. That's not terrible for us. We can... Well, we can play Steam Vents, make it enter tapped and just go ahead. We have our first white source. We need another one for Farewell because we're gonna need it. Okay. Our opponent keeps insisting in not playing the goddamn... I will play one more time. I will go with Shipwreck March, sure, because that might... There's a chance our opponent plays something we can miscast, but I will not play the Mystic Remora cumulative upkeep. Yep. Like, ridiculous, man. Okay, so I'll go with white. And now I think we could go with Kuja, but I think I'm gonna go with Archmage's Charm. Archmage's Newt, sorry, and just wait for either a Mistcast or a Hornlock Whale there. Let's see. Because a Miscast, our opponent needs to pay for the spell and still have 3 mana to... Okay, I knew that was gonna happen. I immediately knew our opponent was going to start paying the goddamn cost of things, man. The cost. What the hell am I talking about? Non-creature spells. I don't know how to speak sometimes. Let's see if he has a Shard Mage's Rescue or not. I do not think we're gonna go fast enough for the... Okay, he didn't want to use it because I think he had some. I do not think we're gonna go fast enough for the Farewell there. Orim's Chant. Okay. You played yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You played yourself. Okay, so Wooded Foothills, that's good. I'm gonna go get something so I can play Kuja and have a white source. So I think Sacred Foundry is our only chance here. And let's see. I'm gonna try and have one blocker at least because we're on 8 life. Of course. Well, I don't care actually. I still have a blocker, so I'm fine. It loses all abilities. Doesn't really matter, so I'll block there. We have Rafine's Tower, which is good, but not what we are looking for. Underworld Breach, would that do anything for us? Not really. I'll try and Cecil to see if we can hang on for another turn. Maybe we can trade or at least block. I don't really care about trading at this point. Our opponent only has 3 mana, so... Okay, light pause, and now let's see. Grief Spoon, so flying. Definitely no trading there. Ethereal Armor. Really, you chose that? Interesting. Okay. We'll get 2 life back. We're gonna go up to 4. Yeah, sure. I'll go with humans, I think. And now I'll just farewell all creatures, all enchantments. I'm not gonna do all graveyards just because I kinda want to have I want to have my graveyard because of Underworld Breach. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A Springer. Okay, I don't really care about that. This is when it deals combat damage. That one. Okay, so I'm just gonna attack. Okay. We're gonna go get something back that I don't have to play. I'll choose that. I don't really care. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 3 for that, so I cannot really play anything, so I'm just gonna pass turn. Let's see what our opponent does. Okay, that costs 1. +1 +3. I have to try and do this. 2 damage and draw 2 cards. Let's see. I'm sure our opponent has a way to protect that. So let's see. Like I said, I'm sure our opponent has a way to protect that. Okay, that didn't... Oh my god. Honestly, that annoyed me. That annoyed me much more than if our opponent had actually... Okay, so I kind of want that. I can go get it back with the Underworld Breach. That sucked. I will have 1, 2, 3. 3 mana. I can also go with this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. You know what? I'm gonna settle that. Because I'm gonna play stuff for free now. I'm gonna go with Prismari Command for free. Which is pretty good, you know? So I will go with that and that, I think. So that and that. Oh, man. Those are 2 very good cards. I have to take those 2. Okay, I will play Teferi. And I'll go with that. I don't have an artifact. I do have a creature and I do have a land. It doesn't really matter. and I gain 2 life, which is pretty decent. But now we have a big blocker, so that's also pretty good. Our opponent is still just on 3 mana, and I think that's what's kinda holding us on to the game. Okay, I'm definitely not gonna complain about these draws. And we got the win. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this as our last game for the video. I think we managed to play this decently, but we were also very lucky that our opponent missed a lot of lands. But usually decks like Light Paws don't really need a lot of lands to survive. I think we were lucky to have a counter for Orim's Chant, and I think we were lucky to be able to play the Prismari Command. Prismari Command, right? That's the name. Where is it? Is it Exile? Yeah, Prismari Command twice on the same turn because our opponent reprieved. Yeah, reprieved, and he gave us the card back. But we managed to get up to 10 life thanks to Teferi as well. So that was pretty decent. We had cards to protect ourselves, so can't really complain about that either. Archmage Newt would attack. We would get something back, like, I don't know, a Path to Exile. It wouldn't really matter at this point, but yeah, man, like, again, Tymna, great card. We played with it before. First time playing with Kraum. We didn't see that much. I look at Kraum more like a finisher slash card advantage engine. Same with Tymna, to be fair. Not the finisher part, but it can help with drawing a lot of cards. But I think Kraum works better if our opponent is doing a lot of that. If it doesn't, then we're kind of like, we have a big body, a 4/4 flyer with haste that occasionally will give us more cards, so we cannot really complain that much, you know. But I think Tymna, in this deck, at least Tymna for this build, or for my experience, was definitely the MVP. So I don't know, maybe there's a better way of building this TymnaKrawm deck. I'm sure there is, but with the limitations with wild cards, with the limitations in what cards exist in Arena, I think this build is very good. Like I mentioned in the intro, this was a deck that I found online, but I made a bunch of changes because it had, like, I don't know, 19 cards that I didn't have or something like that. So plus I then had to add that Thassa's Oracle combo that we didn't really see, but basically, if I understand it correctly, it involves Underworld Breach, Stitcher's Supplier, Thassa's Oracle, and Altar of Dementia. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to play the Stitcher's Supplier, right, while you have Altar of Dementia in the battlefield already. After that, you are going to sack the Stitcher's Supplier. The Stitcher's Supplier mills 3 cards when it enters and when it dies, I think. And then with the Underworld Breach, because as you can read here, each non-land card in your graveyard has escape, you're going to basically replay the Stitcher's Supplier from your graveyard, sack it, so it's gonna enter, mill 3 cards, you sack it, you choose yourself as the mill target, so you're gonna be milling a lot of cards, putting a lot of cards in your graveyard, so you can do that over and over and over again. And then what you're gonna do is, when you have no cards in your graveyard, you basically play Thassa's Oracle from your graveyard, from your hand, however you can, and you win the game. That's basically the combo. Not that well explained, but that's pretty much it. Suck that I couldn't make it happen, but this is it, guys. This was the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave the like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We're on 334 subs. Was very unexpected, that growth. I was not expecting that to happen. It was like on last 2 or 3 days we gained like 6 or 7 subs, which, you know, for me it's a lot. So really appreciate that. And yeah, the videos will keep coming and hopefully the channel will keep growing, and I'll see you on the next one.